they are out there, you know, these things. You just got to sort of be in the right place at the right time, and you've got to have some cash burning a hole in your pocket. And if all those things come together, you can pick yourself up a 2007 Ford Focus ST3 that, granted, you know, needs a little bit of work, for only £1,500. Wow, what a price. Now this thing, it was sat for quite some time, couple of years I think, outside this chap's house. It was his father-in-law's car who stopped driving it. He then parked it where you can see here in this hedge. It was left to rot ever so slightly, you know. The MOT ran out and it just sat there. It's quite an expensive thing to sort of insure and run and, you know, re-MOT. The MOT was, you know, needed some brakes and maybe a tyre, you know, just some stuff, exhaust, I think. It's all expensive stuff. So it just sat there and sat there and sat there. And then he finally got a bit fed up, I think, of seeing the car outside, which is bizarre because I'd love to see this outside my house every day. And he stuck it on Facebook Marketplace. This is the advert I'm showing you now, so you see I'm not BSing you. And yeah, within 12 minutes, I messaged him. He'd given me his postcode, and I was on my way with the cash. That's how fast, since when he listed it to when you've got to be super speedy with these things. When I got there and after I'd done the deal with him, apparently like 30 other people had messaged him. So, you know, you've just got to be on the ball. I went back the next day with the trailer, put a jump back on it, fired her up and drove her onto the trailer. And now, here we are today. Should we have a look round it? Yeah, I mean, that's not the best, is it? I don't know why that wing's got so rotten there, but it really truly has. So we're going to have to fix that somehow. Bit of tissue paper, bit of newspaper, stick it behind, I don't know, something like that. Yeah, or we could put a brand new wing on it. That's out because I took it out to put it on the trailer, to tie it down. It looks like it's going to clean up really well. All the wheels look, they might be nice underneath all that dirt, you know. It's got a Kumo there. Again, it's just grimy and dirty, isn't it, you know? Really is. There's like a couple of tiny little bits where some lacquer's peeled there, which I'll be able to sort. We'll try a couple of little tricks with these just to make them look a lot better. But yeah, just months and months and months of grime just embedded in to this sexy ST. But as you can see, no sort of real dents or scrapes or marks or anything, just that one big problem there. You know, I think these wings are bolt on. Buy a new wing, spray it, put it on. Simple as that, maybe, potentially. Couple of nasty scratches there though, so if we do get some paint for the car, we'll try and do something with those, just touch them in. Nice. Really nice in here. I mean, you know, proper jet black interior, black headlining. Being the ST3, it's the top of the range. It's got all the spec. It's got the full leather Recaros. Bit of wear on there, but I've got some stuff, some dye that we can put on there to bring it back. Steering wheel, again, we'll see how that clears up, but again, I have got a bit of dye. We can probably make that a million times better. 6-speed, and it's got the real nice Sony stereo. Don't know anything about it though, because the battery died. It's saying code, so I hope there's a book. Oh, there's a book pack there. Hopefully there's a code in there. All important turbo boost gauge. Need one of those. Oh, what's that? Oh, spare key. I've got loads. I think there's like 4 keys with this car, which is weird, isn't it? Should only have 2. Back seats look nice, or maybe 3 keys. I don't know. Should we see what's around the other side? Right, battery is completely dead, so I can't get into this door. So, can I get into the boot? No. So we're going to have to change the battery before we can get into those and see if all the keys and stuff work. Because it is, yeah, completely dead. Absolutely nothing. I've had to put the jump pack on it. Fords are full of, like, amazing ideas. One of those being to put a 225 horsepower, 2.5 litre turbo Volvo engine in a front wheel drive hatchback. That's a pretty cool idea. The other cool idea is that the bonnet release is all here just on a key. And I mean, I've only been round a couple of cars where that has completely failed, and it's been a huge nightmare to try and get into the bonnet. But apart from that, it's a really cool idea. But I'm definitely going to be spraying some stuff on all of these catches, latches and everything, just to make sure that I don't have any issues with that on the side of the road or something, you know. Whoa! Just noticed a couple of interesting things. That doesn't look particularly standard because it's got Forge written on it. That's the dump valve thing that goes pts in the car, you know. When the turbo spits out all the stuff that you don't use. So there's a couple of things that's not you know, there's a couple of things, isn't there? Maybe it's, you know, had a bit of a air filter type thing going on. What I'd like to do though with this car is really go through it. I don't know what the service history is like, so hopefully there's going to be some good news in that book pack. But I'd like to have a look at sort of what we can do to make it really nice. I'd like to completely restore this thing to its former glory. So I'm talking, you know, brakes, tyres, all the service items that need to be done, MOT, make sure it's, you know, as good as it's going to get, and then take it to the Nürburgring. That'd be good, wouldn't it? There's a lot of plastic in engine bays nowadays, isn't there? Oh, nice. My last trip to the Nürburgring in the beautiful Audi TT 180 was amazing. I had a great time, and I just thought, you know what, let's just get something else and go again. Because it's seasonal, it only opens for sort of half the year, or a bit more than half the year. And you've got to sort of make the most of it, because when it comes to being cold and rainy and, you know, in the winter time, I'm not going to have these opportunities. So I thought, let's try and get back over there and beat that 9:05 lap that I did in the TT. That'd be good, wouldn't it? You know, this thing's got 45 more horsepower than the TT. Granted, it's possibly a little bit heavier. I don't know, I'd have to look. And it's only front wheel drive. But I'm sure I can easily squeeze a much better lap time out of this than that TT. But I guess we're going to find out. First of all though, we've got a bit of work to do. I've already checked everything over in terms of like oil and stuff, and it's all there. It's all looking good. You know, nice colour, yeah. It's quite a modern car. It's only sort of 2007, so what's that, like 15, 17, 18 years old, something like that? It's not bad at all, is it? You know, coolant's really nice, everything's really good. I want to know stuff like cam belt and things though. Don't really change belts on this channel. I hate doing it, my hands are too big. But if it hasn't got one, you know, I am potentially going to be taking this around the Nürburgring, so might have to do the first cam belt change of the channel. So just pray for me that it's in the book. If you like your sort of fast forwards as well, I'm also building a 2-litre turbo ST170 conversion Capri, which should be fun. Gonna hopefully have anywhere between 300 and 400 horsepower out of this thing soon. I say soon, it's probably going to take me another year or so to sort of finish it because the whole car wants painting, but there's already been a few episodes on this. So if you want to watch those afterwards, you can. I've also got a 300 horsepower V8 Ford F250 over there with the 6 litre, the 5.9. Would seem I do like a Ford then. Okay, right, what should I do first? Now I'm tempted with this. Do we think the battery needs changing, or do we think the battery just needs charging? That goes on there somewhere. That goes on there. Okay, let's just check that it's actually attached and doing something. Nice. We'll give that half an hour or so and we'll see if she doesn't fire up and then hold her charge. So, my bad, but I didn't actually put these times on the board in the last Audi TT video, which I probably should have done, but I didn't because, well, I forgot. So anyway, I'm doing it now. The Audi has demolished the competition on the 0 to 60 board. Who knew that 180 horsepower Audi TT Quattro was faster than a Vauxhall Frontera? Who knew? You know, or a Passat. Who knew? Now, if you notice, there's two sort of spaces. I've created a space here. These are lap times for cars that I've done in the UK that are in order with some mathematics that I used from finding out how fast TCR cars go around the track and using sort of magic spells on Excel to work out how fast these would have gone round Anglesey, which is that's the sort of mean track for this side. But when we take them around different, it's complicated, all right? Just believe in the science. The top of that board is a Citroen C4, but this is for UK tracks, so we're going to ignore that and we're going to start a new one. The first time on this side, which is the Nürburgring side, is the last, well, not the last, just the only other one that's actually been bloody recorded on this channel, because I've only been doing it for like a year or so. The Vauxhall Omega MV6 Automatic did a 10.05 around the Nürburgring. That video's out there. The TT did a 9.05, a whole minute faster than an old automatic MV6 Omega. Incredible. But there you go. Where will the Focus go? To make this thing ready for the racetrack and for me to daily around for ages, because I probably will because it's dead cool, I've got a parts board ready. Driver's side wing, that's on there first. And what I'm going to do is we're going to write all the parts down and I'm going to hunt those parts down as reasonably priced as I can, and then we'll keep track of the cost and we'll work out exactly how much this has cost to get back on the road and be hopefully a nice example, because it's all HPI clear and stuff, this as well. It should be a nice thing, you know. Interesting. As I mentioned, I did get another key with this. Why is it all the cars, passenger side doesn't open? Ah, that worked. Oh, hello. Nice, okay, so we've got the battery cover and we've got the book of words. Anything in here? Ashtray. Interesting, okay. Never smoked him. Okay, nice. Ah, we've got some Tesco oil. Obviously being maintained with nothing but the finest motor oil. This is a bit dirty in here though. What's it been used for? Where's the spare wheel then? What's underneath there? Where's all the stuff? Where's all the items? How am I supposed to... Do you not get a spare or anything? The hell? What happens if you get a puncture? Is it all underneath the car? I have to read the manual? How annoying. This is one of the old MOTs, and this is potentially why this was a bargain. Vehicle structure, subframe corroded, rear and front. So we're going to have a look on, you know, get this up in the air and see exactly what's going on. This isn't the most recent one though. This is 2019? Yeah, 2018. Underbody has slight corrosion. That's a real shady MOT, that. Can't be that bad. It turns out, in fact, that it was that bad. In fact, it was even worse. Just wait and see. Oil leak, front pad's low, great. It's going well, isn't it? 300 quid a year to tax, that's cool. Insurance, okay. Part of the old logbook. Let's make sure there's nothing in there. It's 2017's MOT. Nice to have a bit of history with it, doesn't it, you know? Service portfolio, this is what we want to see. So, okay, we've got a lot of history. We've got 21, 28, 33, 39, 45, 52 and 59. So we've not had no history for 40,000 miles. So we are well due some stamps in the book. Just seeing if there's any sign of a belt or anything, but definitely doesn't look like it. Colour code 73J Performance Blue. 73J Performance Blue. Nice. I guess we're on a tyre repair kit. Great. Yeah, fantastic. Consumability. Yeah. Oh God. Right. Where is it? Hate these things. Where is it though? Where's it supposed to be? I'm going to take this out actually because we'll clean that. So yeah, my immediate thoughts are it's probably supposed to be there and it isn't, so it's a bit of a pain, isn't it? Stopped cutting holes in these parcel shelves nowadays, that's good. And the thing for the front, that's cool. Let's put that back in. Tidy. I'm looking for the locking wheel nut because I haven't seen one yet. Cigarette lighter in there. Oh God! Nothing in there. Oh, please, Lord. Let there be a locking wheel nut. Wonder if Ford can get me one if I give them chassis number. I don't know, they're not going to be able to, are they? Oh, God. Right, okay, it's going well so far, isn't it? Will it start yet? Nope. Might have to put a battery in it as well. Got heated seats though, that's cool. So we've got MOT history that suggests it's quite rusty underneath. We've got a huge hole in the front wing. The service history stops 40,000 miles ago. Oh yeah, and no locking wheel nut. Apart from all that though, going really well, and I've just found these free sunglasses. Killed it! I'd rather have had a locking wheel nut than those sunglasses though. Right, okay, let's get to work. Hiya mate, I've just got myself a 2007 Focus ST3 and it's come without a locking wheel nut or a radio code, and I need both.
25
okay.
380. As for your locking wheel nut key, have you got the code for it?
No.
No, so...
Well, where would the code be? Would that be in a...
So, I know it sounds really stupid, but it's normally kept with the locking wheel nut key in the little bag in the boot.
Right, okay, yeah.
It's a really stupid one. When you buy a new vehicle, they put the locking wheel nut key and the code in a bag in the boot together. So when one goes missing, normally the other part goes missing.
Yeah.
But with it being a used vehicle you've bought, have a look through, you know, the handbook and that, and see whether somebody might have put it in there.
So if I wanted to sort of drop it off to you and get the sort of wheels off and the radio code, I'm probably looking 200 quid-ish all in, something like that.
With the new lock and wheel nuts as well, you're going to be looking at just over 200 just for the wheel nuts to be replaced.
Right, okay.
So yeah, you're going to be looking more about the 250 mark.
Right, okay, no, cool. All right, well let me just see if I can think of another way of doing it. I might have a go myself, and if it's no good, then I'll give you a shout. The big problem I've got is that they're so deep inset and there's hardly any gap around. So smashing a socket over them, no possible. You can't do that. You're not going to be able to get a socket around the inside of that. The guy on the phone said he's got a special tool that'll do it. I need to be able to get these wheels off, so for brakes and stuff. So yeah, bit of a problem. Obviously, I'm not going to pay Ford £5 million to like get a radio code and take some wheel nuts off. but it's nice to know what that could have been. So we could have been looking at like 250-ish quid there, which far from ideal. So I bought some radio keys for £2.99 plus postage off eBay, and then we'll get the code online. That should solve that problem. I hope nothing bites my fingers off from down here. Why won't you just come out? You're supposed to be on clips. Get out! So I've managed to get to where there's some writing, and it does look like the original belt, and I know that doesn't say Ford, but it's supposed to say that, trust me, believe me, it is. So it doesn't look like it has been changed. That means I might have to change it, but look at this, it's big, and it's so difficult. So I'm going to order a cam belt kit, and we'll get that fitted as well. Great. Okay, what else? Oh yeah, I need to try and find one of these wings, don't I? Right, what I'd like to do now is get it inside, get it up in the air. That's as far as I've pretty much driven that car, and when I put it on the trailer, and God, I just can't wait to tear it a new one around the Nürburgring. Very cool bit of kit. It's hard to believe that this is a 2007 car when you actually look underneath. Discs don't look too bad on this side, but the pads, I can't get a visual on. So what I might do is order a set of discs and pads all round for the car anyway. If we're going to be doing some crazy stuff in it, I think we had better put some fresh brakes on, you know, because they're a bit rusty. And speaking of a bit rusty, where do you want to start? Okay, I mean, so this exhaust, you know, there are bargains out there, but you should probably just spend more money and get a nice one. That's completely torn off. So we need at least a new back box. Where does that join? It doesn't join? Why doesn't it join? What do you mean it doesn't join? Is that the joint there? How are you supposed to get it up and over? Crazy. Okay, right, I'll look into that. There's a join there, but again, look at that, that's completely toast. Good luck. Good luck undoing that bolt. Oh my God. Right, okay. You know, it's just pain. That's a very expensive component, so we'll sort of gloss over that. Look at this thing here, just... having to put a louder exhaust on it. What a shame. God, what a nightmare. It's almost like I knew the exhaust was knackered. Anyway, subframes. Yeah, crusty. It's not too bad. I mean, I've seen, that's only flakiness, that, isn't it? A bit of flaky paint. I'll get the sort of needle gun. Can I see? Yeah, oh, yeah, discs. Yeah, I mean, they would service. So if this was a cheaper car, you know what I'm like, you've watched the channel before, if this was a cheaper car I would just leave these, but because this is quite a nice car, it's probably worth doing a nicer job. Is that rust on that wing? Sills and everything are nice. What's going on around here? I mean, it's only 07, so we shouldn't have any issues with anything up there really.
Oh, hi, me again. Yeah, there was in fact lots of issues up there.
It's definitely going to be worth sort of cleaning all this up and spraying a bit of Schultz on there just to keep the MOT man happy. I mean, it's all nice and solid, but it's just a thick layer of where all the paint and stuff has corroded off it. Got brake pipes and things, springs and everything look good. Coil springs, I think they've been replaced. Brake pipes, I don't even know where they are. Where are they? Can anyone see a brake pipe? There's some there, look. Yeah, they're all fine. They're nice, aren't they? Yes, we've got a bit of chassis blacking to do, you know. Nice. Be worth it though. This is going to be a car to keep in the garage, I think. Pretty sure if I look after it, the value of something like this is definitely only ever going to go one way, isn't it? You know, and that's... Okay then. So I've spent loads of money, bought a whole new exhaust system for the car, which is pretty cool. I've also spent hundreds with Smith's Auto Parts just to get all of the service bits. I've had to buy a new battery because this is just, it's not charged, it's not holding a charge, so I've got a new battery. It's an expensive one, of course it is. And yeah, so all that's on its way. What I need to do now is to start stripping bits off the car. I want to take a load of stuff off underneath, jack it up when it's outside, get under there with the very hard setting on the pressure washer and try and take off as much sort of surface rust as I can with the pressure washer before I bring it in here and start scraping stuff off. So here we go. Nice, that's cool, isn't it? I can slide the battery out of here. Yeah. Oh yeah, look at that, come on. Okay, one big ass battery removed. That was the easiest exhaust I've ever removed. There it is. Do you want it? Keep the tips maybe. Safety glasses just in case my mum's watching. There's a mount attached to that. Where did that go? Oh, there. Crazy. It's quite a big heat shield, that, isn't it? Quite nice. Give that a clean up, it will go again. I've ordered the repair kits for these holes to make these holes less of a large hole. And yeah, now we can get right in all of here with the pressure washer. Hopefully blast off a lot of this rust. Far from ideal, but that just snaps off that. That's not what that's supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like that, but as you can see, that one is completely toast. So it needs a flange on there. Or potentially a new cat. Do we put a new cat on it? I could buy a sports cat, but oh, what I have to do, it's so expensive. Everything's just so expensive. You could really do with it all. It's just so old and rusty. Okay. Hemorrhaging cash, my favourite thing to do. There's a lot of parts here that I need to put on the Focus parts board. Whew, it's about 500 odd quid's worth of stuff there. Under here, it's not the best news either. So I've stripped off loads of stuff, which is great. So I've only sort of bent this round. I've ordered a flange and I'm going to weld the flange to this because a new cat's like 400 quid. So we're not going to do that. Anyway, this heat shield's mangled to hell. That wasn't me, that was just how it was. So I've bent it round and I'm going to underseal everything, and then we're going to straighten all this out and put a repair kit on it so it'll all be nice. And then we're going to put the other ones back in, which will be really, really good. And then we're going to get rid of all of this. You see all this like surface rust? I mean, it's not bad, but it's bad enough for me to want to scrape it all back and wax oil it, you know? And it'll just help it last, especially on these subframes and things, because we don't want the MOT man telling us we've got to change all ones of these. So you can see it's not bad under there, but just doesn't look great. It's very unsightly. So we'll make a nice job of that. Are you ready for the bad bits though? So, as I've taken these bits off here, these are sort of, you know, this is, again, it's all just, it's pretty solid. Yeah, it's solid behind there. This corner, just where it meets the sort of wheel arch and sill bit though, has gone. It's rusted away. So that's the outer sill. So the outer sill wants a plate on it, which means you're going to have to take these plastic guards off. And it is exactly the same story on this side. The end of the outer sill is toast. This is an 07 plate car and it's just rotten. Ford just don't want them to last. What's this sticker? I mean, it's just crazy, isn't it? Oh my God. Oh my God, it's awful. Right, so I've got loads of work out there. So I've got to take these outer sills off and then get this all welded up as well, which is just not what you want to be doing, is it, on this 07 plate car? I thought I'd be changing the bloody oil and then heading off to the Nürburgring. Got to rebuild the whole bloody thing first. So yeah, it means first job, get these wheel nuts off, which I have got a kit on its way to do. And then once these wheel nuts are off, I can get the wheel arch linings off, get these sill covers off, and then we're going to take her outside and we're going to give her the pressure wash of her life. Under the front looks really nice though, and all the sort of up there by the turbo just looks all really nice and clean and good, so that's excellent news. And this doesn't look too bad, but again, scrape it all back, give it a good bit of Schultz. Nice big calipers on these as well, so that's cool, isn't it? So that's that then. This £1,500 Focus ST is now starting to look like a little bit less of a bargain. Anyway, I'm in it now, I've done it. I've spent the money on the parts, I've got an exhaust on the way. Let's just get it welded up. It's not too bad at all. Let's just, you know, it's a couple of days work of welding and undersealing and washing and stuff. And then it's just putting all new shiny bits on. And then bodywork, wing, painting. What else have we got to do? They should be fine. Oh, and an MOT, of course. Great. Okay then, it's Monday. The alcohol from the weekend has almost entirely left my body and it's been replaced by fear and dread. It's annoying, isn't it, really? Because I kind of bought this car thinking, oh, 2007, it's going to be some, you know, fairly straightforward bits to do. Might get to do something slightly different than I usually do on the channel. But what's actually happened is it's just the same. Except it's the same, but now I might have to do a cam belt. Why is it so rusty? It's 2007. It's been parked in the sea. So this is a Napa high power. Napa do a lot of the touring car stuff. Sponsorship and parts and things. And for the Ford Focus touring car, which is pretty cool. Because this is one. And I'm putting Napa parts on it. I don't know, I kind of feel like a race car team or something. I don't know. Oh, sparked. Oh, something's on. There we go, that was easy. I'm not going to put it all back on and tighten it down, everything properly, just in case I need to take it out again, which I might need to do. So I'm going to leave that and we'll do that at the end. Obviously the lack of exhaust makes this thing sound cool as fuck. Usually, while I pressure wash these wonderful machines, I would stick the names and everything of the Patreons over the car, because that's my thing, that's what I like to do. However, I'm going to save that until I do another thing on the car, which is going to be extremely time-lapsey, and that is scraping off all of the crap underneath the car, which is probably going to take me a day with sanding it back and stuff. So I'm going to do it then, and it'll be nice, because it's nice to be nice to the Patreons, because without them I can't afford to spend the probably getting on for £1,200 worth of parts that I've had to buy for this. I mean, it's still hopefully going to be quite a cheap car at the end of it, and we will have got a bit of a bargain. But it's a lot of money, isn't it? You know, you compare it to that TT, and it was like, you know, it owed me 740 quid at the end of that. This is going to owe me a fair bit more, which is scary, isn't it? Anyway, so I'm going to give this thing a bit of a clean now, and then we're going to get it up on axle stands and try and get the jet washer underneath, which should be fun, because we're on a bit of an angle here, so it might fall off. But it's got its wheels on anyway, and I can't take them off. Okay. Bought this brush from Halfords a couple of days ago in preparation for doing these wheels, and it's broken. Come on, Halfords, your last sort of stop when it comes to like car stuff. You're the only shop on the high street, big one, you know. Stop doing this, make better stuff, come on. Nice big dose of TFR, traffic film remover. Get rid of some of this bloody traffic film, eh? What the hell even is that? The arse end of the car is now probably a couple of feet in the air. I have put it on some Bluetooth axle stands, which I don't know if you can see those there, they're fine. So I'm just going to sort of lie next to this thing with a pressure washer and try and take as much of that crap off as I can. Well, would you looky here. This thing, to get those things off. When I start sort of messing about underneath there, I'm going to give you a rundown of how much I've spent so far and what we're up to in the total of this sort of focus restoration, this resurrection, getting this thing not only back on the road but on its way to the Nürburgring. This is sort of everything that's turned up so far. I mean, there's an awful lot of it. So yeah, we'll go through that. And I'm pretty pleased that that kit's arrived, because I can now get these back wheels off and do a bit of a better job of the arch liners and stuff. Maybe even take them off. Who knows? That's our type of wheel nut. It can get loads of different types of wheel nuts off this. It's pretty cool. But that's our kind. And what the idea is that you sort of get one of these and you smash it over that bit, and it turns it into a little key, which I think is exactly how Ford were going to do it from what the guy said on the phone. So I'm just going to find which one of these fits it the bestest. And then I guess you put it in the hammer thing and you strike it. Yeah, I mean, I definitely would have preferred to have done this on the ramp, but there we go. So this is like a shroud which stops it like hitting the wheel or something, I don't know. And it says you've just got to smash this into place here. I'll get a good purchase on it though, because I'm down here. It's got this handy thing though to stop you smashing your knuckles against the wheel. So much rust falling off when I do that. I don't care. Do we try it now, I guess? It's two more. Would you look at that? I mean, that's 150 quid well spent, isn't it? Let's be honest. That was awesome. Flew off. Oh man, well good. I guess now I've got to try and get that out of there, and then we can use the hammered key, the thing that we've just made by hammering it onto that, for the other wheels. You can see how it sort of hammered itself into the shape of the key. So I'm just going to go and take this over to the bench and try and get it out. So yeah, look, this has got to be what that chap was on about on the phone, but you can see it sort of turned itself into the shape. How nice. Right, I'm going to attempt to get the rest of the wheels out then. Off, well, just the back two for the moment, because we take the front ones off, the car fall on the ground. How good's that though? It means I can get to everything finally. Come on! Is it just gonna slot in, I wonder? Oh my god, it does! Now I imagine there's going to be a sea of people watching this going, ah, you waste 150 quid, I would just smashed it out with a hammer and I could have done it by now, and yeah, but you'll have also knocked 7 shades of shit out of the alloy wheel, smashed it to bits and cut holes and everything and all that sort of stuff. Whereas this is completely painless to the wheel and just a lot better. So I'm so happy with that. What a great little, and I've got this for ages now, I've got this for life, so nice. Right, get the rest of these bolts out and get this wheel off. This has held on with quite a lot of these things and years of mud and detritus, spiders. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We needed to get that off. As you can see, it's not the best in here, and I think we're catching this stuff just at the right time. But I'm going to have to scrape all of this flaky stuff off and give it a proper good paint under here, because it is rough as. But yeah, we've caught this just at the right time. Much more and it would have been a bit of a problem. And we got all nice new brakes and stuff to go on it, so it should be really decent when it's done. But yeah, this bit is rotten. I'm going to take these sills off. I'm going to weld a big plate on the end there and the end of the sill on, which is a bit of an annoyance, isn't it? But it's got to be done. So as we stink and breathe, we have spent, on top of those two things that I'd already written down there, $7.95 on the heat shield sort of fixing kit, $13.99 on a flange, £337.49 on an exhaust. Radio keys, £4.39. Wheel nut removal kit, £150. But I can use that many times over, but it's just, that's what it's cost me initially. I can't, it has cost me that much money. What can I say? The sill, which is next to me here in this large box, was £133.58. The WYNNE was £63.12, all unpainted of course. For the service items, it was, oh, it's going to fall over, £265.10 for all of the service items. The brakes and wipers were £227.68. That's a lot of money. The total so far then is £2,750 and 39p. If you're enjoying this, I know, it's all advertising all the time, but there's a couple of things you could do which would be really cool, because this is a huge amount of money. If you could go onto the description of the video, there is a shop there where you can buy these sexy hats, not these ones, but these sexy hats, and t-shirts and stickers and all that cool stuff. So that would be cool. But genuinely, if you can't afford to buy anything, don't worry, we're still totally cool. If you could though, could you just hit the subscribe button? Because that would be ace, and it doesn't cost you anything. And I do all of this for free for you, so don't worry about it, just hit the subscribe button. But if you are a multi-millionaire, if you could go and buy a hat and some stickers, that would be cool. Thank you. Don't know how well you can sort of see here, but the floor outside is covered in bits of focus, which is great news. I mean, that's just what we wanted, isn't it, But yeah, everywhere the focus was is just annihilated with pieces. I've put the Capri under cover because I had it valeted the other day, ready to do some work on it for its MOT, and yeah, we're looking good from what I can see. There we go, with some light, yeah, just so much better. I mean, it doesn't look great to you probably there, but to me that saved tons of work, because I've been able to see like where's good and where needs to be sort of rubbed down. And this is going to respond quite nicely now to just like a big old sand back. It's going to take absolutely ages, and then I'm probably going to paint it. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I'm still I'm thinking about it. Bit scabby there, isn't it? But yeah, there's just loads to still more to do. But yeah, sort of haven't decided exactly what I'm going to sort of do underneath. I'm thinking just like a real nice rust inhibiting primer, and then like a gloss black all underneath, just make it look all dead nice. And then on top of that, a load of wax oil, and inside everywhere that I can get a load of wax oil. It's probably going to be the best thing for this car. I haven't got a mega budget, do you know what I mean? I haven't got tons of money, so I can't do anything crazy. It's not like I'd like to, I did look at sort of replacing all subframe and stuff, but you're looking at 500-600 quid, and it's just with price, and it doesn't matter. Loads more work. So we'll try and do what we can with what we've got. Locking wheel nuts. Annoyingly, this when I was taking this wheel off, I don't know if you can see there, but it snapped, the locking wheel snapped inside there. So yeah, I mean, it got 2 off, and then on the 3rd attempt it sort of snapped off. So these 2 front wheels haven't been off yet. I don't know if they're on a bit harder or not. So annoyingly, it sort of snapped off with bits of metal inside it. So I'm using these picks and I'm gonna try and get that metal out. It's coming. Yes, nice and easy. Right, okay, well let's smash another one of those little tools over this and see if we can get that removed. Bit of a fail. Didn't work. Don't think I can reuse that either. I mean, we'll try. I think the big problem I've got is that this wheel nut's been seriously over tightened. Let's just try and go forwards a touch maybe. No. I feel a problem coming on. Could this be a problem? I don't know. I'm going to go and try the other side, see if I can get that one off. And I know that there's only this one that's being a bugger. There's a couple of other little ways we could do it. We could loosen all the others a little bit, drive it round and see if that will work it out. So I might do that as the next port of call, which is annoying because it's taken off the ramp again and everything. It takes ages to put this on the ramp because if you don't put the arms in exactly the right place, they'll shoot through the roof of the car. I just did the one on the other side and that worked absolutely perfectly. So still a good kit. I think that's been on there for a while, judging by the state of the tyre as well, which will need to be replaced. Cha-ching! It's off the ramp and the other wheel nuts are hand tight. Let's take it for a couple of spins around the yard, see what happens. It's already about 11 o'clock. And I'm still not doing anywhere near what I wanted to do today. That's the alarm telling me I'm not wearing my sunglasses. That's better, it's gone off now. Aircon's okay, I think. I mean, maybe a little bit more gas at some point, but I don't know, it's cooler than it is outside. Wow, that was a struggle. It's about an hour later. I'm sweating like a 52 plate transit on an MOT ramp, and I've finally got this locking wheel nut off. I've had to go old school, and there has been damages. I've had to go down the hammer and chisel route, and huge amounts of heat just to get that thing off. It is loose, it's in there now. Just going to get the wheel off. This wheel, I mean, it's rough anyway, so as I was thinking about what to do with it, I thought, do you know what, let's just smash it off, damage it, and I'll repaint this wheel. All the other wheels, difficult to tell because they're all covered in like dust and stuff, but they're all really nice, so you know, they're fine. This one though is the only one that's a bit rough. It's actually quite nice and clean at the front, isn't it? It's not too bad at all. Up there, starting to get a little bit peaky, so I'm just going to spray a load of wax oil up there when it comes to it. This side, to get the wing off, I've got to take this plastic inner wheel arch lining off, and also to get to all the cam belt stuff. So I'll be getting that out the way as well, and then, you know, there's just loads of stuff's got to come off so we can put stuff on. Again, in the back, this is all cleaned up, an absolute treat. So yeah, really nice, just amazing. You know, it's just so much better to work on something clean than what I usually do. So I'm going to try and get the good pressure washer on these things more often, I think, underneath. Be nice if I had a ramp outside, wouldn't it? That'd be good. But you can see, yeah, you know, we're sort of catching this at the right time, really. But we'll make it look nice. my sill, and I've sort of worked out roughly what I'm going to do with it. It's gone really far down on the car, so I'm probably going to be cutting it down here somewhere and using that section. You can see where I've sort of run my finger into the dirt there. It's really rough. So I'll be putting that, you see it's gone on there as well, so I'll be getting rid of all of this until it gets to nice shiny metal, and then sort of going back from there. With the rest of the sill, there's a bit to do there, not loads on this, but just a bit to do there, and the rest of it looks fine. Again, a couple of bits of crumbliness, but it's only surface. What I might do is I might sort of rub these back and paint them or something just to make them last a bit longer, but it's just a bit of flaky paint where studs and stuff have been. That's where one of the screws goes, don't know if you can see that there. So yeah, I might just tidy them up. This here, everything in this tray, is what I'm going to be going at this car with now. There's a couple of favourite tools here. First of all, air gun, amazing. Good old-fashioned wire brush, I'll probably use that the most. This is by far the most effective, my angle grinder, with all of these different lovely attachments. These are the best ones. I've just bought all these old ones because I'm just going to use these now. Sorry, not sure what happened there, but yeah, so some of these I've just got them out because I've been hoarding them for ages, so I'm going to use them and then bin them. I've got a needle gun for doing the more solid, like bottom arms and stuff. That's going to be pretty cool, make light work of that. And then I've got the Milwaukee on some 120 discs, just to sort of get in the wheel arches and things and make it a bit flatter and smoother, ready for some paint. Mask, glasses, let's go. Oh, before we go though, this here is a new toy. Now it's just cool as hell. It's like my air-powered one, but essentially a lot smaller, a lot finer. And I bought this today thanks to the Patreons, because they pay money to see extra cool content, like when I go and pick cars up, and they know about a couple of the cars that are outside, and potentially see things that never see the light of day as well on the actual channel. And yeah, that money really helps me to buy new toys, to make better jobs and do more sort of interesting, better things, really. So big, massive thank you to them. I'm going to get stuck into this. It's going to take me bloody ages to do. So while I'm doing that, let's cue the music. And if you fancy being one of the Patreons, there's a link in the description. You can go and do that if you like, but you don't have to, you know. But if you're, feeling a bit flush, you won the pools or something, get involved. I always put the sort of new people's names who've joined the Patreon recently, since the last Audi video, I think. So we're going to celebrate them now by putting their names on the underside of the car, or on the side of the car, whilst I have a horrible day. Okay, let's cue the music. Can I go home now? It's a fairly thankless task this, because I mean I'm just going to cover it in a load of shite nobody's going to see, and the MOT man's probably just going to write underside, undersealed, can't see any components. I don't care. I'm going to go for a pint on the way home as well, because all I can taste is rust. Do you want to have a look? The main difference being now is that everything is back to good strong metal, you know, and it's not all flaking off and crap and all this sort of stuff, you know. It's all quite nice. I can't, you know, you can't get this down to shiny metal. You could, but you'd be there for forever and a day. So the idea is to just get all the flaky bits off, try and get it as nice as possible, and then give it a good coating with like anti-rust stuff. And then that is going to prolong this thing's life for many years. And the interesting thing is as well is that I'll be keeping this car, so when it comes to its next MOT we can have a look underneath it then and see how well it's done. Bloody hell. So hot outside. I saw a dog chasing a cat before and they were both walking. I've been busy this morning. It's probably 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and would you like to see what I've been up to? I've been making shapes with metal. Get off! Stuff that sort of fits in and is all nice and, you know, can just be welded on. Done all the prep work. A lot of welding is just the prep work, you know, that's all, you know, the rest of it is pretty easy really, just doesn't take a lot. It is just pretty much prep. What about the other side though? Things are slightly different over here, quite large gaps because as I'm doing it I've got to sort of, it's hard to tell because it's all there, but you can see, you just sort of push it all together. So I've not got many of these clamps, you see, so I just wanted to have everything in place. But yeah, as we're going along, we just push it all together and these bits will close up. These bits will close up all nice and we'll get a nice weld. Same round there, you've just got to sort of do it as you go and then you get a nice sort of thing. Panels in the back, they're ready to go. And then there's also a little one here as well, just to sort of, because that was a bit rotten down there. All of this though, it's all nice and solid. Everything else is looking good. Same on the back here as well. It's all very nice and solid. So I've got to get the welder out, get some stuff done. I always forget to buy shrouds for my welder, which is really annoying. Get plenty of, you know, needly bits, whatever they're called, but not shrouds. Okay, where's the mask? Oh, it's on my head. Right, what should I do first? Nice, immediately burning holes in it, which is great, isn't it? Blowing loads of holes in this. Everybody's a good welder until you put 2 Coke cans in front of them or a couple of crisp packets and say weld those together. Anyway. What's the saying? Is it like grinder and paint makes the welder you ain't, or something like that? I don't know. Shall I put safety glasses on? Nice. That's all that's getting, because obviously there's a big plastic sill that goes over that, so nobody's going to see it. Don't need to sit there sort of, you know, plenishing this out, making it all nice and all that stuff that I wouldn't do anyway. Just cover it in filler. Yeah, nice, done. Okay, inside bit and then other side. We'll do tomorrow is drill a hole there, and then we're going to get right down the inside of the sills with some stuff. Bet you didn't know I could play one of those. That is beautiful. Nice set of welds. Don't even need to grind those back. Why would you bother? I mean, that's practically artwork, isn't it? Yeah, you know, bit more to do now down here. This panel in there shouldn't take me too long at all. And then a little bit of stitching underneath. And yeah, that'll be all of the sort. Oh no, I've got to do the exhaust flange as well. Okay. It's so hot. My tongue's starting to evaporate. I'd imagine, heat-wise, this is on a day like this is probably a sort of akin to being a chef, I'd imagine. To avoid getting too much sort of panel warp as well, I think I've got away with it so far. Do it in sections as well, don't do it all in one big line. Forgotten where I am. What am I doing? Oh my god, look at that wing. Not much more to go. And I'm going to go and jump in the nearest river or trough. It's so hot. Please help me. Need 10 isoles stat. I'm done. All the welding's done, even the exhaust. Just going to put a bit of zinc primer on it now, and then I'm going to head home. A bit too late to go and get the paint stuff today. Got to do it tomorrow, but that's okay because I've got to go and pick up an exhaust as well. So this is the state of play. All really nice. I don't need to take it back anymore. There's just no point, you know. It all looks fine. Stitch the bottom along a bit. You know, this is all solid here. It looks a bit gross, but it is all solid. I've sort of checked to make sure we haven't gone through in any other places, and it's all nice. Up there's all good as gold. Same with down here, all looking nice. The exhaust, this is the new machine, and I've decided to run a ring, just because it's easier to access it than trying to go on top. Ring around the inside there, and that's nice and solid on there now. So we'll use that to bolt the other exhaust to the new exhaust, but that saved a 400 odd quid cat, and I don't know what we're going to do with these mounts. We'll sort of work that out when we put the other exhaust on. And yeah, this side's all gravy. Another coat of zinc primer maybe, and that's it. My work here is done, and more importantly, all the really sort of messy work has completed, which is brilliant news because my back is in pieces. I'm too tall for this ramp. So annoying. Everything in my life, I'm like 6'2", and everything in my life is just a little bit too short. Whoever made this ramp was obviously 5'9", and they thought, oh, no one will ever need to go up any higher than that. I need to go up higher than that all the time. It's just like, it could do with an extra just 4 or 5 inches, and then it'd be so much nicer to work on, but all the time I've got to be sort of delicious. Ferro zinc. Tastes like licking piss off a nettle. I've bought some stuff. Apart from all these packages of things, Performance Blue, Super Jet Black. Super Jet Black is for underneath, everything that isn't body coloured, so all underneath and components and all that sort of stuff, as well as this, which we're going to sort of blast down sills and all that sort of good stuff. This though is water-based rust converter. I haven't got like tons of time today. I've got a few other bits I need to be cracking on with elsewhere, so I'm just going to get this thing baking in this rust converter. I'm going to brush it all on everywhere that needs to be, and it'll just sort of, you know, really, really help the longevity of this vehicle, which is going to be important. And then I'm going to put the brushable seam sealer on, so that can be going off as well. And then tomorrow, when I get in, I can start the proper painting of things, which will be superb. This milkshake looking thing is what we're going to paint onto all the rust using this brush, and it will help. It's like the old sort of Hammerite stuff that I used to use, rust converter, but this is just different. I suppose it all does the same thing, all has the same ingredients. So let's get it on. All these big components, the stuff that's bolt on, bolt off, all these cross members and things, I'm not going to use this for. I'm going to just put wax oil straight onto those, because wax oil's got rust inhibitors in it anyway. And as they're bolt on, bolt off items, it'll be fine. This is mainly for like body work and stuff, you know. Really important to get up all in every crook and nanny. And again, these big bits, these are just going to be wax oiled bolt-on bits. I might do this subframe in some rust converter though. But yeah, get in everywhere, all up in there. That'll all turn black, and then we can prime. I've got some real nice zinc primer, and we'll prime straight over that. So I've got a bit more to do. And then, yeah, this car is going to live a slightly longer life than before. Cool, blimey, Governor, doesn't it look good? That's working really, really nicely. Great stuff, to be fair. I'm like pretty happy with it. Some of the bits that have dried there already, just, yeah, looking really, really nice. Wax oil rust proofing, Armis Enum Metallium, Tetraseal wax oil. It's good stuff. Ultimate rust prevention. I will only ever show you products or things on this channel that I properly recommend. I would never dream of showing you anything that I've either been paid to sort of say is good and it isn't, or anything like that. I haven't been sponsored by any of these people. I'm just telling you that this wax oil is brilliant, and the reason I know it's brilliant is that I've put my hands to quite a lot of classic cars, old stuff. And the stuff that has been wax oiled from new, dream. Do you remember the Spitfire underneath? Dream. Citroen Visa I did a while ago, I knew that had been wax oiled from new because I knew the previous owner. It was so clean, so rust free underneath, and it was just so old. It was amazing. And then you've got stuff like this, which Ford have hardly even painted underneath, and it's completely rotten. This is great stuff. It's inexpensive. That whole thing there is about 35 quid. It's just, yeah, ideal for treating your car. I know there's a lot of other products out there, some of them more expensive than others, and some of them just not had the sort of longevity or the trials or recommendation or I've ever seen cars with it. Stick to what you know. You know, if you know this, great. You know, what's the point in venturing off to something that you don't know, you know? Right, I'm going to pour some of this into that tub and get painting. Ah, delicious. Probably spread this on a couple of bits of toast, couldn't you? Just come to the best record shop in the world, subtle plug there, to pick up the exhaust for the Focus, and it's a bit big. It won't fit in the boot, won't fit there.
Could drive like this.
Superman it. I'm gonna try and open it and like leave the box here maybe. So simple and straightforward. All goes in there. It's in loads more pieces than I thought as well, but the big bits where the music comes out of, absolutely massive. So this is going to be so cool. Ooh, look at all this. All very nice and ready for spraying. The real horrible, nasty, underneath dirty stuff, the back of that has been broken. Painting is lovely, really enjoy it. So first thing I'm going to do, get this car a bit further up, mask off any other bits that I need to, because I've just been doing a lot of masking as you can see. And then we're going to do some primer, I think, as the first place. And I want to show you this wax oil as well. Just briefly, you can see I've sort of masked the wheel arch, because what I don't want to do when I'm spraying in here, because I'm going to spray loads in here, it's overspray on the car and everything. So that's why I've done this, FYI. I'm not, you know, everything else I'm not bothered about getting paint on, and we've got new brakes and stuff to go on it, so it's all good. I could spray these, make them look like new again. Some people get the backs up, essentially, is what I'm saying about wax oil, and I don't know why. I just love it. One of the things I hear people saying is, oh, it's minging, it's sticky, and it doesn't, but what you've got to understand is that has only been on for, I don't know, like a few hours, half a day, you know, 12 hours, and there's nothing, it's dry. You can touch it, you can move on it, you can work on it. It is dry to the touch, but it's also very sticky, and it will stay there, you know, that's the beauty of it. I've still got to get inside these bits with the gun, you know, but this is going to seriously improve the longevity of this car. I've put some on these tank straps as well, just a load of wax oil on those. I'll be masking the tank off, but everything else is fair game for painting. All this fuel stuff I'll mask off as well. Obviously all this heat shield, but yeah, everything else is fair game. A few of these cables will get masked off as well. But yeah, nice. It's going to look dead smart when it's done. Just nice gloss black everywhere, I think. Big gloss black on it all. I'll mask these off as well because they're quite nice shiny looking things. I do realise that this is sort of not my usual style, and usually I tend to sort of throw them down the road a little bit faster than this, but I really like this car, and I think that it's just well worth saving. It's such a nice thing, and it's just worth doing that slightly better job potentially of it, you know. So this is everything that I could pretty much be bothered to mask off. Not a huge amount, I get that, I can see that, yeah, that's cool. But a lot of it I want to be painted. And it doesn't matter if you paint brake lines, who cares, you know? The more protection the better. These rubber lines, I'll sort of pull these out the way while I'm doing it as well. These are handbrake cables. All these, again, you could take these down and do it, but I'm just going to try and get up in and around these because I did pull that one and it was a little bit delicate, so I don't want to mission creep at all. And then we'll sort of do these bits and stuff as well. But yeah, should be good. Let's mix some paint. Hello, welcome to Blue Peter. Today we're going to be using High Build Etch Primer Chromate Free Grey, which is pretty cool, isn't it? And this activator to go with it. You sort of mix these 1 to 1, you put them in one of these, and then you pour it into your gun. Super simple. So we're going to prime everything, leave that to go off for probably half an hour or so, maybe 45 minutes, and then we're going to gloss black the whole thing. And then when I have gloss blacked it, we might do a load of wax oil. It's just going to be like so nice underneath the car. You could live under there, eat your dinner off it. You have to flip the car over. I don't know. Right, okay. Let's pour some paint. Oh, tidy. Let's just use everything that's in there to start with. Let's get these Focus ST orange gloves on. One of mine had one of the orange ones. They were pretty cool, but couldn't find one. And blue. Ford Performance Blue. It's iconic, man. Right, so what are we on there? So on roughly 150, so we could do 300 mil. Do you reckon that's going to be enough? Probably will be, you know. Yeah, let's do that. Nice. So the etch primer aspect of it means that it will stick to bare metal really, really well, which is what we want, because we've treated the rust. The rust has been converted. It's changed religion to not being rust. So this should hopefully stick to that really nicely, and it should all just like chill out for years, you know what I mean? It should be a lot better. I mean, it's not like going to stop the rust, because trust me when I tell you this, okay? There is no product in the world that will stop rust. It's impossible. It just isn't. If there was, they would coat ships in it instead of spending millions of pounds scraping it all off and repainting them every few years. It's just how it is. Over here, it's different in America and stuff, and, you know, dry states and things, but over here, your cars will rot from the inside out. It's in the air, you know, there's just no escaping it. It just gets in everywhere. So all you can do is do your absolute best to slow it down to a snail's pace. And this, you know, this isn't, there's probably better products out there for it, but this is what I like to use, you know, and I have had good results. Look at this cool design that I made. It's got the light on the gun. 300 mil is definitely not enough. I'm gonna have to do that again. But it's going on so nicely. Looks so good. It's coated beautifully. Let's just crack on, do more. This stuff's excellent. Got a real nice coverage over everything what needs it. And you know, even with my big gravity fed gun, I still managed to get right into the back there, which was good. And all this is all nice and sort of coated and stuff, so it's just going to get a mega hit of gloss black now, which we're going to need to mix up. But I'm going to leave it sort of another 20 minutes or so just to go off a bit more before I do more painting. And then, annoyingly, where these ramps are here, when it's on the ground, I'm going to have to stick my head underneath and sort of, I don't know, brush a load of stuff on or something. Frustrating. I could do with a 4-post drive on ramp, that'd be sick. In here is the paint shop's own gloss black, which they've named Super Jet Black. Pretty cool if you ask me. This is 2K or 2-pack, which means it's the paint and the sort of hardener all in one. So no lacquer required, which is super good. So I'm just gonna mix this up, 2 parts this, 1 part thinners, and then we'll throw it on. I'm excited to see. And like, once this is done, you know, we're starting to like build things back up and put parts on the car. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? Very Super Jet Black, if you ask me. We'll do 400 mil to start. I'm using the same gun as my primer as well, because just can't be bothered using the other guns, and this is quite nice. And because it hasn't got the regulator on it, I use the regulator on the compressor where the other two have got regulators on. It means I'm getting to slightly tighter gaps with that gun as opposed to the others, which is pretty cool. God, starting to smell colours. It's looking mint. This is one coat, but I've got probably the same again, maybe a tiny bit more, I don't know. But it's starting to look the part, definitely. It's going to be nice when all the heat shields and stuff are back on, all shiny. Yeah, looking good. Okay. Can you see like the tide line on my beard? How annoying. Kind of looks like fake tan almost as well, doesn't it? Really good. Maybe I should do my whole body in it. There you go. Done. Underneath. Amazing. All we've got to do now is wax oil inside all these holes. Every hole we can get into. But she just looks the business. Really, really good. With a nice shiny exhaust on it and stuff. It's going to look sick. Going to leave that for sort of probably 45 minutes to an hour to properly dry before I do any wax oil. James from Tyre and Tread tipped up and he's going to get this tyre changed for us because it's a bit sad. Too close to the wear indicators for me. We're going to be tanking it round in Germany. So there you go, look at all that gear in there, amazing. And he's also going to sort out the slow puncture on the Passat because my mum's going to be taking that soon. Her car's coming here for some MOT work like we did last year. So I'm going to sort of try and mint it up for make it a lot better, a lot nicer, because she won't replace it. So I'm going to try and fix that one. So she's going to take the Passat while I have her car for a month or so. Right, ready for some wax oil. So I'll just show you on there. That's what's going on, and I'm using it. Any cavity I can get my hands on. What a great bit of kit. Aleb gave me this. Found it, it was his dad's. It's his dad's in a garage and he found it and gave it to me. It's really cool. Honestly, just like no holes barred. Any hole that you can find, just get it in there, you know. The more the merrier. In terms of dirty jobs, we're pretty much done. Under here looks $1 million. Just couldn't be happier. And I've just coated everything, every nook and cranny with wax oil. So it's never ever going to rust again, this car. That's it now. Wow, so nice. No, my luck, I'll probably have to do another fucking couple of sills on it next year, but it's fine. As you can see these big holes that have rotted out there are no good. I bought this little kit, and they just have these discs and these things, which go over there, and it's just going to look amazing, isn't it? So, yeah, but I'm going to give them a little wash outside and stuff before I put them up on the car. And it's the exhaust, a few other things. Quite a lot to do. We're really cracking on in time-wise in this video now, so I'm just going to do this because like my back is about to snap in half, so I just want to get it done as quickly as I can, as nicely as I can, and I'll show you afterwards. Annoyingly, I've run out of these things almost straight away. I thought I'd ordered more, but there was a lot less in the pack than I thought. So I'm having to make my own out of just like square bits of metal with holes drilled in the middle, you know? This exhaust is epic. However, classic eBay special. But I may need someone to review the footage and see if it was me welding my thing on the wrong way. But we'll start at the back. I mean, that is just sexy, isn't it? And it just fits so well, so nice. All the brackets, everything. This up there, gorgeous, really nice. Goes to there, again, just fantastic. You know, it's a little bit close to things, but it'll tighten itself up. This, again, perfect. And then you get to there. It's like 15, 20 degrees off. I can't twist it round at all. We're just off. Now, I welded this thing on. So, did I weld that in the wrong place? Or is this eBay special an eBay special? So, annoyingly, I'm going to have to drop this down, try and remove this and re-weld it on. Oh, not ideal. But anyway, these are the things you have to do if you're stupid like me, or if you bought a cheap exhaust off eBay. I don't know who's at fault here. I'm hoping it's eBay because I never make mistakes. It's going to look dead sick though when it's all done, isn't it? Look at that. Nice new shiny discs and stuff as well. All new brakes. Really cool. That's where it's sort of supposed to be, angle-wise. Again, don't know if that was me or if it was eBay. Probably me. So I'm just going to put a couple of little tacks in the back of this, drop it down, weld it all around again, polish it off, and then I can tighten this exhaust up, which would be super nice because I'd like to get out from under here now. So aside from doing discs and pads and service items at the front and the under trays and the wheel arch liners on the back, done underneath, and the exhaust looks insane. You ready for this? So I've given all this a weld as well, so it's all nice and secure. I mean, this thing is a really nice car. This is a really, really nice car. I'd love to have this. Oh wait, it's mine. So small. Dead cool. I really want to know what it sounds like. Let's drop it down on the ground and fire this baby up. Come on! Dickie has shown up for the inaugural. Should we like throw a bottle of champagne against the side of it or something? How's it work?
If we do, we throw it on the swing that needs replacing.
Yeah.
But we can't do that, so it's a bottle of brown ale.
Right then. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, nice. Oh, listen to that, mate. Have a listen here, look.
Sounds well.
That sounds so nice. Do us a quick break. Give it a throttle a tap. Oh wow! It's not too loud or anything. It's just like a real nice noise. Real nice noise. Got to do this as well, by the way. I don't know if I've shown you this yet, but look at all this flaking lacquer. So I've got to paint the rear bumper as well.
Spray that.
Right, that's me done for the day.
Good night. God bless.
Should go and get pissed.
Good idea.
As Muse once sang, time is running out. You know, there's still so much to do. By the end of this coming week, it's now Saturday, by the end of this coming week, I would love to have this Focus completely finished and MOT'd so I can use it to deliver a tiny little package that has arrived for this car, and I need to take it up to the head shop in Warrington, and I want to do it in that car. So, all the service stuff needs to happen. I've got all that paintwork to do. It still needs a proper valet and everything. It's got to go down for an MOT. There's a wing that needs to be fitted there. There's tons left to do. Rob, who you may have seen on this channel several million times before, amazing mechanic, real very good friend of mine. He's done a lot of, sort of helped me with a lot of cars in the past. He loves doing cam belts. I'm morally objected to doing cam belts. I believe all cars should have chains that last 500,000 miles. But he doesn't mind a cam belt. So he's going to come down, I'm going to exchange him some beer tokens, and while I'm doing other stuff, he's going to crack on with that, because we're already almost 2 hours into this video, and how am I going to get all this in, you know? The next episode of this needs to be thundering it around a racetrack in Germany, not doing more work to it, surely. Hello, Rob.
Hi, Ben.
Couple of convertible guys there.
It's the day for it, isn't it?
Represents.
I come bearing gifts as well.
Oh, nice, right, yeah. Rob's been to Smith's this morning to get our extra bits that I needed. 2 belts, there's 2 auxiliary belts on this car.
I'm not even going to ask why you're buying more of this stuff.
That's just to stick all the rest of the stuff back up. Yeah, you've got 1 belt for the aircon and then another belt nestled up there for the alternator.
Okay.
So the idea is that all you've got to do, right, is those 2 belts there and this tiny little box.
Okay.
And I'm going to do all of this.
What are we doing, having a race?
I'm going to do all these really hard jobs like wiper blades.
Oh, standard. What have I let myself in for here then? Okay, water pump. Belt, pulley. It's like a cam belt kit this to me.
Yeah, it'll do, won't it? I'm going to get started on the back, doing brakes, wheel arch liners and stuff, and I'll let you crack on with this.
What's going on here?
Still so much to do.
Is there?
Rob's draining the coolant onto the area around the draining pan. A few bits coming off here. I'm struggling with these brakes, mainly because they're just rotten and they've not been off for years. So I don't know if you can see these bolts, but they are turning into mush, which is a worry. Can you see these there? So I have to get the car higher up, and I don't know, I'll have to like saw them off or something. I don't know. This is a bit of a rusty area of the car, this, you know. Okay,
Okay, so that didn't work, so now we're just going to set everything on fire. Because these are well in there. I don't think these have been out for a very, very long time. It worked. I'm going to be
3 bolts.
red hot.
One of the problems is as well, is just they've put the bolts in essentially the wrong place. They should have
I've
just...
never seen such small minute bolts for holding a caliper bracket on.
Yeah, and why are they... did you get my ratchet spanner out before?
No, back.
Why do they insist on putting them 3 mil away from the fucking hub? Because then you can't get your tool in there.
Good quality engineering, that.
Nice one, Ford. Nice new brake disc to go on, and this bit's black as well. That's cool, isn't it? And then we've got new pads. The old pads, pretty sad. I mean, they would have cleaned up, you know, a bit of a scouse service on there would have been absolutely fine, but doing what we're doing, it's probably nice to replace them, isn't it? Okay, discs wise, they probably did need replacing. I mean, Christ on a bike, yeah. Not loads of braking making contact. Wowee. Rob trying to start the engine with its cranking handle.
Yep.
To go well?
Well, we're aligned, which is always good, isn't it?
Nice.
Found a bit of a problem.
What is it?
Come with me into the darkness of this engine. Look at that. I was wondering why there was so much grease and oil all over this thing.
We were boot down.
Yep. Lucky bought some Tiger Seal, isn't it?
Yeah, clean it up in time for it. Yeah. Being as absolutely everything has seized on the back here, which I just, assumed it would with the condition of everything. Rob is flying ahead.
It is a bit snug down here. Not looking forward to putting this back together. Coming off's one thing. Going back on.
I often find like the taking off is easier than the putting back on. No, it's harder than the putting back on.
Definitely when we've got this much space to work with.
Look at all that downstairs mix up.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Get a load of brake clean on all that, I think. Get it all nice and tidied up.
There's all your CV grease anyway, all over the belt.
Yes, I think it's just well worth just, you know, since I'm going to be thrashing the absolute back out the thing.
Be well lubed. But yeah, man.
It's not an eco boom, is it? You don't want a lube cam belt.
I mean, I'm amazed given your stance on cam belts. You're doing a cam belt. Well, you're not actually, I am.
That's it. That's why.
Makes sense. Now I know why you asked me to come down today. Alright, so water pump is out. A little bit of noise from them bearings, so good job changing it. Well, that was not a fun job. I mean, look at how much space you've got down there. Ridiculous. Absolutely annoying. How's things going back here, mate?
Could you just grab that hammer there and smash me over the head with it?
Burn your face off if you want.
It's just horrendous. All of it's just like, everything's a pain. I've done it now. It's on. Caliper won't wind back. Everything's a problem. It's just a fucking ball ache, isn't it? But it's done now.
Rusty Fords, eh?
Yeah.
Mint cars.
Got the nice cleaned arch liner in. It's looking really good. Brakes all ready to rock and roll. So we're just going to put the wheel back on, and I am done over here. Apart from painting down there, but that's fine. How are you getting on, Bob?
I need like the smallest hands in the world to try and get these bolts back in. I need fingers like Tetris pieces to try and like get back in. Oh man.
Are you having much fun?
I've had better days. It's not going too bad in all honesty.
No, you're
just awkward, man.
Flying through it. I'm only on my second break.
Well, I've still got to try and time this up here. Not looking forward to that.
All of this desperately needed a change, didn't it? I mean, just really going to have been bad performance trying to slow down from 150 mile an hour at the Nürburgring. So I'm glad we're doing it. So we're roughly 3 hours in. I'm having a shocker. So I'm just down here again and I've had to drill bigger holes in the sort of caliper to fit the rewind tool in, because you've got two positions for a caliper rewind tool, and it's this one, but they're slightly too far out for the caliper, so I've had to drill them so they go a little bit further. It was all the way out, this one. Nightmare. It's taken me forever. Roberto though
has been having fun needing the most smallest hands in the world trying to get everything back in here, but we're in.
We've got a Gates Power Grip HTD.
So new belt, tensioners, idle pulley, water pump, all bolted up. I mean, just, you know, just look at you for yourself.
That's where you, look, this is my hands. I can't.
Even mine are like,
I don't even know where.
My hands are broken though.
How would you even do it? But
Dislocate my fingers to get in on half these bolts. But we're now all tensioned up and it's time to crank her all over. So for those of you that don't know, when you do a timing belt, you get two little alignment marks on your cam pulleys and you get one on your crank. So line everything up, belt off, all your new gubbins on, tension up, and then you try turning it over.
nice, look at that. Oh yeah. Can't hear any metal on metal so far, which is nice.
No clunky so far, which is good. We've got good compression.
Yeah, I can see it bouncing back. It's nice to see that all the chassis and stuff's in such good nick. The front of this car is not rusty at all, it's only the back, which is great news.
And your good news is, everything's looking mint there. Happy with that.
Tidy.
Right, button the back up.
Yeah, good luck with that. New set of cheap Chinesium locking wheel nuts. Ooh, very nice. Awesome, so that's all done. New brakes. Everything inside there is all back together, looking lovely. Needs a bit of paint. That was probably the hardest rear brakes I've had to do in a very, very long time.
Yeah, you did melt that one quite a bit, didn't you?
Yeah, corroded car. But it's just how it is. Those ones hopefully should be a lot better. Quite big, aren't they? Big calipers.
Decent, well. 225 brakes, so can contend with them now.
It's true. Oh, engine mount going back on. All brand new auxiliary belts gone in. Service items. It's got Ovlov written on it, look. Where is it? Where? Pretty nice. Very cool design. Lots of stuff on this car, I've got to be honest, is designed in a little bit of a suspect way. Like the front calipers are pretty crazy. What are you doing down there?
Sleeping.
But this was really good, just 2 screws and it slides out. And it is the standard air filter, which is pretty cool. Definitely in need of a change, I would have said. Pretty gruesome. Just got to give it a bit of a push.
Aircon work in this.
It might need a regas. Fine, isn't it? Nice. Oh, pop.
Most satisfying sound.
Ooh. Oh, something's made it into
Oh,
nest.
hello.
Look at this. Look, it's got lots of little items.
I think we need Henry on that, don't we?
Yeah, a little bit of a sucky suck. Someone's been eating nuts in this engine. That's what came out of it.
Photo go.
And yeah, I mean, they're pretty burnt. Definitely, definitely would enjoy a change. Not desperate, but you know, always nice to do. New one to go in. Looks roughly the same as those. Cool. Did of course almost forget the 5th one until I found that they'd given us 5 spark plugs. 2 more plugs to do. Got to do this oil filter, some oil, some coolant, cabin filter, front brakes. You know, this would have seriously delayed things if it wasn't for Rob's help today. So really good.
That's all right. Got it, haven't we?
Yeah. And this thing's going to be a nice car. And then tomorrow and next day is just painting and making it look presentable before we take it to see Rob and get probably an MOT that says fail, underside covered in Schultz, couldn't test components. That's why we put this back on now, and the oil filter's under the battery, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
This car's going to be so like brand new afterwards.
Fucking machine.
Even gone to the lengths of putting the gate sticker on, which is really cool. Don't know these numbers though, so whatever.
What is going on, man? I've never seen this level of detail.
It's crazy, isn't it?
YouTube's changing you, man.
Should we see if she sings?
Yeah, man. Shall I crank her over?
Yeah, we'll get her warmed up, get this coolant circulating. Bit of a misfire. They can't go around any other way.
Sure.
Pretty sure. Might have put the coil packs on the wrong way. Yeah, don't know what's wrong. I think the wires to the coil packs just potentially a little bit sketchy. So we're just going to have a little look at those.
The rodents have taken quite a shine to them, haven't they? Little bastards.
I think, you know, like disturbing things has disturbed the wires. That's what I'm hoping. Hoping it's not like a bent valve or something, you know.
Nah.
So it looks like it all goes one way, doesn't it? Once!
Oh.
Try the one with the dodgy wires. Oh! What did it? What? It wasn't touching the spark plug.
Yeah. There's one. There we go.
While Rob's putting that back together, I'm going to go and install this space age looking wiper.
Send it. There we go.
It's just perfection. What are you doing with this now?
Put it back in.
Okay.
Factory.
So there we are. We've still got to do the oil and the cabin filter, but aside from that, this thing is immaculate. Look at it, it's glorious. Wow. That sounds insane. So good. And from the back. I'm gonna need to go and change my underwear. Oh, that's so good. Just done a very quick drive shaft fix with a couple of cable ties, just sort of extended it over and did that. If it passes its MOT, amazing. And when I've got more time, I still won't do anything about it. Cool. It's getting late though. It's probably like 6 o'clock-ish. Oh, back's like a question mark.
What day?
Bob. Bob's getting in trouble with the missus.
Yeah, time to go home.
Yeah, so we're going to call it a day.
But Good job then. Good progress.
Thanks for your help. Saved me loads of time there. It's Monday, things are looking good, but found a little annoying job. All these brakes and stuff are done. Very over-engineered caliper. Just, it's a massive thing, massive pads, massive discs. I'm hoping it stops really well. As I've been doing this, I've been looking at this bottom ball joint here, and I can see that the gaiter is split at the top. Now, that might have been an advisory or something, but either way, I don't really want to wait until it's down having its MOT before I sort of find out. So I'm going to take it off, and I've got some other boots that I'm going to put on. Now potentially they can be a bit of a bastard, these, but fingers crossed we'll do okay with this one. Right, so that bolt's sort of off. Can't get it out though. So let's just give it a little tickle with this device and see if it wants to come undone. Hey, nice. Okay, don't know how well you can see that there, but yeah, there you go. It's all just shagged boots. So no grease or anything in it. So I'll pull this down, slide another one over the top, clip it all in, job done. I've got a, oh, they all jumped out. I've got a selection of them in here, so they'll do nicely. New boots on, as long as it lasts for the next sort of 3 miles, be fine. If you're ever struggling to sort of redo one of these up because it keeps spinning in the ball joint, put a load of pressure on it. So I'm jacking the car up with the gearbox jack, but you could do it if you're on the ground, any jack, just put a load of pressure on it and it stops it spinning because it's holding it all tight. So then you can do the really long and annoying nut up. I'll see you in about half an hour when this is done, and you can see. Tidy. That's all nicely on and good. Looking very smart. I'm now going to get this brake done, refit the under tray, and God, we might be starting to work on the body. Got 5W30 going into this. They gave me, weirdly, 7 litres of it as well. Does it really need 7 litres? I don't think so. It's probably like 6.1, isn't it? Just so they can sell me another litre. I've got about 20 litres of 530 in there. I should have just used that. On top of this engine here is a nice shiny new wing, and I've got this out of its package so I can see where the bolt holes are. So I've got some across the top, one little cherub there, a slotty thing there, the ones down on the bottom which don't matter because they rusted away, one there and one there, and then those underneath the headlight. So now I have that information. I've taken a couple out there, starting with the easy ones, like, you know, and I'm just going to work my way around and get all of the bolts out of this wing. Not been too bad, but quite a faff. I am ready to sort of get it off. All these bolts along here, understandably, have all rotted away, so I'm going to have to like replace them with something. And this end one has just turned to toppy, so I can't get it out. Path of least resistance in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, let's go this way instead. Ouch. Don't even need that, just fell off. So that is one very rusty wing. Quick clean up. all just completely mullered. That was the only sort of semi-good one, but we'll use something else. Sad times. Goodbye, wing. There's the ST badge, which we'll have to get off there as well, but I'll do that afterwards, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit this and paint it on the car. Now, I know that's crazy talk. A lot of people would do this the other way round. They would paint it and then put it on the car. But the reason I'm going to put it on the car and then paint it is just so I can make sure everything fits nicely, you know. Make sure it's all bolted up and it's all on well. And also, space-wise, when I paint, I want to get the whole car in this gap here. And I'm not going to have enough space to sort of lay this down and do it sort of separately. There's also, I can mask stuff off really, really straightforward and easily. The wing is on, and only a couple of minor sort of flesh wounds here and there. That was a huge ball ache. It wasn't that bad really, but just the problem was all of the nuts and bolts and bits that the screws screw into and all that just dissolved. They're all rotten as hell, which is very, very interesting. That Capri was built to last, man. This is not. Everything that you touch falls to pieces. Pretty crap, you know. Anyway, it should all be nice now because I put new stuff on. So it's all good. It's all lined up beautifully. Everything looks great. All the gaps and stuff are superb. Fits perfect. So yeah, let's paint it. And the splitter, and these sills, and this rear bumper, and this alloy wheel. This is the sad alloy wheel. Sad alloy, don't know why, so sad. I'm just going to sand it down and paint it. Should be a very, very quick job because there's not lots of stuff to get into. So this is the last thing I'm going to do today. Get this all done, and I'll show you it afterwards. And then tomorrow, she's off the ramp, on the floor, and into paint. What is this outside place called? What is that big shiny thing in the sky? It's sort of day 8 on this, and I'm glad to not be in the solitary confinement of underneath the ramp. We're ready to do some painting. It's just going to be not long, probably an hour or so of sanding, just to get, because all the lacquer's disappeared off this. So we'll get that done, mask the whole car up. I've just got to Scotch-Brite both sills, mask those up as well, Scotch-Brite this beautiful new wing, and then yeah, lay some stuff down. All nice and clean and tidy again. That's better, isn't it? These things as well, these are very nice and handy. You just pop them out and then you can mask these bits off, but you can get right in there with your paint, and then you just clip them back on so it looks like a real nice job. doing pretty good for time. It's 12:30 and I'm ready to go into the big sheet of masking and into some primer, which hasn't taken long at all, really. I've had this stuff for years and it just keeps coming. Never ending. If you're going to sort of use this type of masking, good thing to do as you're doing stuff is try and get it really as tight as you can to the bodywork. And the reason for why is that any sort of flappy bits, dust and stuff's going to go in them, and you know, bad things and items, and you don't want those bad things, dust and items, to go on your nice paint. It's inevitable that I am going to have some stuff here, but that's what a bit of wet sanding and buffing's for. I don't have the benefit of a booth, but whatever, I do a lot of painting and it's never really bothered me. Whew, that was a fair old whack of masking, which is all done, which is ready to be cleaned and painted. Probably a point to mention, look, you know, I know I said it earlier on in the video, but this car, I'm sorry this video has gone on so long, but this car has taken me forever to do. I didn't realise it was going to be as knackered as it was, you know, but I wanted to just make it really, really nice, so it's taken a little bit longer than than some of the other cars that I've done. However, I really appreciate you sticking with it and watching, and if you do like it, just give us a little tap on the old subscribe button. It would really, really help. The reveal of this thing is going to be so good, and fingers crossed we'll get this thing through an MOT, and by the end of this video we'll be able to drive off into the sunset. Right, have a look. Wings all master, plus all this sill. The bumper is all ready to go. This sill, again, all looking superb. And the splitter down there, which had those nasty scrapes on it, is ready to be painted. I'm going to get some panel wipe, give every panel a good clean, and then we'll mix some primer. And I'm thinking about shutting this door as well, which it's not ideal because, I mean, a lot of dust comes through this door, which is really annoying. I don't want that, but at the same time, the daylight goes and it's not ideal. So I'm still thinking about it. I might wait until the primer's on and stuff, and then we'll do it for the paints. I really enjoy painting cars, you know. Don't know why, just really enjoy it. I think it's because of the transformation, you know. Anyway, I'm using the same primer as I used when I was doing underneath, and it's quite an interesting reason why I've decided to use this primer, and that's because I haven't got anything else in stock, so this is what I'm going to use. I have got some plastic primer which I probably should be using for the bumper. However, I'm saving that for the Mazda because I'm going to be doing front and back bumpers on the Mazda, so we'll see how this lasts, you know. Great success. That's just flashed off there now, and I'm just looking to see how much fallout's in it, because obviously I would like to keep the door open because it's sad otherwise. But yeah, I mean, there's next to nothing in it really. Splitter's all done.
These bits that go along the bottom, they're all done. Bumper's done, still wet, but it's drying nicely. Yeah, really happy. So let's just leave that for a bit and then we'll come back to it. Panels have dried sort of perfectly flat, so nothing I need to do. Just going to give them a tack cloth before I paint. So this is a Ford Performance Blue. Oh, very nice. Can you see in there? Don't know if you can see that properly. I'll put some in a cup. I always do this to my paint, and then when I look in the cupboard I know what colour's what. Oh, this is such a nice colour. I hope it matches good on the wing and the back bumper, but I guess we'll find out. Right, I'm going to mix this, tack cloth it, and we'll lace them down. Leave that to flash off for about 30 seconds. Good taste blueberries. And then do it again. Keep doing that a few times. That sounds fun, doesn't it? I'll show you afterwards. It's going on nice though. I think we're done for colour and we're looking mighty fine. Difficult to tell, but yeah, it's looking really smart, really nice. Just lacquer now really, which is the last bit but not my favourite bit because that's where you get all the runs and stuff. But thankfully this is one of the first times on the channel where I'm actually doing some painting and it's the right temperature. It's like 20 odd degrees, so fingers crossed we should be all right first time. Out the gun finish, you know. Anyway, let's mix some lacquer up and get spraying it. Lacquer time, baby. Let's start with somewhere inconspicuous. And one of the strings is broke on my mask, which is annoying. I mean, it is such a shame about all this dust and sand and wind and everything, but I can still turn out some amazing results. Look at that. Oh my God. It's like glass, man. It's just a couple of tiny little spots. I'm not even that bothered again. They're very easily just sort of polish out, but no runs or anything. Just perfect. Wish it was this temperature all the time for painting, but that is beautiful. You can even see yourself there in the little camera. So nice. And yeah, all looking superb. This is going to be such a nice car. Oh, I'm just absolutely buzzing with it. What a wicked motor. So there you go then. I am going to demask. I'm going to wash. I'm going to buff. I'm going to make it nice. And I guess then we're going to take it down for an MOT. When will you see it next though? Place bets now.
Do you think it's going to pass or fail? And I'll see you, however long it takes for me to do all that, get it down for an MOT, and if it passes, show you the final product. I'm sorry that this video has taken so long to come to its conclusion, but the conclusion is she's passed her MOT with flying colours, 0 advisories. It's what you dream of, isn't it? A Ford with 0 advisories on the MOT, and I've got one, and it's got a massive turbo on it. It's great. What could be better? Explosions from the exhaust, it's incredible. If I hadn't have sort of edited this video, it would have been 64 hours long. That's how long I've been in the workshop working on this car. It's a long time, and the product I'm pretty happy with, you know. I'll take it. 64 hours work and you get this at the end. How have we done price wise? Well, have a look at this table. If you include the radio code, which I did buy.
The truth about this story.
And the speakers are wicked in this car. The truth about this story. The speakers are wicked in this car as well. They're really, really good. If you include that radio code, which cost me $9.99 online to see it instantly, this car comes in at just a snip under £3,000. Possibly a little bit more than I wanted to spend. If you take my, you know, labour into account, you might as well have just gone and bought a nice one. However, what I've ended up with is spending £3,000 and owning a car that is pretty well sorted. I mean, this is going to last a very, very, very long time now. I'll probably get many trouble-free MOTs out of this thing, which is great news. And even if I just sort of use it for a bit, stick it under a cover and, I don't know, wait to see how much it's worth in 10 years' time, I think it was a job well done. What do you think? Do you like it? Let me know, you know, give me a shout in the comments and just be like, Ben, look, what a complete waste of time, do a Austin Allegro again. It's up to you, just tell me what you think in the comments. I am now on my way to deliver a parcel, which is super exciting. Inside that box is a piston to replace the cracked piston that's going in the ST170 engine that's going in the Capri with a great big turbocharger as well. So that'll be good fun, won't it? I'm going to take that up there now in this car, which is what I really, really wanted to do with it. That was my goal for this video. While we're heading up there now, let's have a quick look at what this was like when I got it, what it was like before, how bad this thing was, and then I'll show you what it looks like now. And you tell me what you think. I'm not going to go into tons of detail about what the car's like and, you know, sort of a general review and how good is it to drive, you know, comparisons to the other cars and stuff. I'm not going to do that in this episode because we're running out of time. But what I am going to do is drive this thing, give it the ultimate endurance test like we did with the TT, and I am going to stick the cruise control on and head all the way to the Eiffel. I'm going to get in there and we're going to give this thing the thrashing of its life. We're going to see if we can't beat that 905 from the Audi. And just on the offset, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to. This is front wheel drive. There's a lot of very different driving sort of things with this car compared to the Audi, such as how I'm sat, the size of the thing, look at the headroom. There's a lot of interesting stuff that's all going to translate to the track in very different ways than the TT did, but I'm not going to go into it all in this video. We'll do it in the next one. As far as I can see, we're driving perfectly straight. Everything's working exactly as it should. It's just superb. There's nothing. It doesn't need anything. The stereo's amazing. It's got Bluetooth with my little adapter. The car's great. The car is fantastic. There's one more thing I would like to say. And that is that this car is the end of an era for Ford, which is sad, you know. I'm not, and I'm annoyed with Ford because of it, really. In the UK, we've always had a bit of a thing, and that thing is 3-door Fords with Recaro seats, right? That's just been our thing. I don't know what it is. I know in America you've got V8s and smoking tyres. We've got Recaro seats and 3 doors on our cars. For some reason, Ford have stopped making 3-door cars. It all comes down to the fact that an accountant will be running the company rather than someone who actually wants to make a successful car company. It's a financial decision. It's much easier to just make one platform, one set of doors, blah, 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 blah. They'll tell you that nobody was buying 3-door cars, but that's complete bollocks, because I'm sat in one now, so someone must have bought it. 3-door cars just look better, everything's better about them. It feels like much more of a sporty thing, you know. They're cool. Everybody loves a 3-door. This is the last Focus in a 3-door. Don't make them anymore. They've even stopped making Fiestas in 3-door. We're screwed. We are screwed. It's such a shame. So this car, with its Recaro seats, which are again potentially going to be a thing of the past in Fords. I mean, I think they already are, but I don't know, because Recaro very recently announced they were going bankrupt in Germany, which I think is a, you know, again, where a lot of this stuff's going to be happening. But that's very sad news if you're a petrol head like I am. So yeah, last of the 3-doors, last of the Recaros, sad times. But I've got one here, and I really like it. I think it's really good. And I really hope that you've enjoyed watching this video. I mean, I think it's just been so much fun. I've really enjoyed it. I've done some new stuff that I've not necessarily done before on the channel. It was a lot harder than I thought it'd be underneath. You know, it needed a lot more work, but it was worth it, worth everything. And we're going to see, probably in a couple of weeks' time, a few weeks' time, I've got to get a few more videos out to you first on a Capri and another car from 1967 that I'm working on. But yeah, we're going to take this thing all the way to Germany, and we're going to see what it can do, see how fast it'll go on the Autobahn and stuff, and we'll talk a bit more about it then. But for now, Give me a subscribe if you enjoyed it, that'd be really cool. Buy some hats and things, some shirts, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye. Mission accomplished. See you next Friday. Oh God, what am I going to do with the rest of my night? Well, if you want something in the background, I do a podcast with my friend WYNNE, who is an ex-RAF sort of maintenance pilot or test pilot. He used to fly all the sort of Hawk jets and stuff like that, really cool things, just to make sure that they weren't going to drop out the sky when he gave them back to the people who used them to shoot the bad guys and things. It's very entertaining. We talk about everything to do with cars and planes and lots of other stuff in between, and just like behind the scenes of things here, what I actually feel about, how I actually feel about some of the cars and stuff that I do. So yeah, it's pretty good. If you would like to watch it, go to the description of this video. The link is there. Click on it, watch it. If it's good, then subscribe to that. It's called the Wheels and Wings Podcast. And yeah, there's quite a few episodes for your entertainment. So give it a go. Give it a go. Give it a try. Bye.
A lot of lag though. So you know how, you know, a petrol engine, you just touch the throttle and it revs.
Yeah.
With a jet engine, you move the throttle and it doesn't. It's quite slow.
You got to.
But,
yeah.
And most of the power comes right at the top end. You know, you're talking about turbos. It's the other way around with the jet engine. Sort of like above 80% RPM is like most of the power.
Right.
So 80 to 100 is like where most of it is. So that's quite interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
What's the lowest you get sort of power from then?
I mean, there is thrust coming out the back at idle. Like, so,
But not enough to sort of get you going.
do you know what? Probably, it depends on the airplane.